Why, hello, everybody. Today is Tuesday, December 24th. It is Christmas Eve, and we are just here in one of Grand Rapids, Michigan's cemeteries on the south side. I'm actually not absolutely sure what cemetery we're in. Just out for my long walk. With sort of just walking to the east in mind, and we've ended up here. So our plan today is to continue walking to the north and to the east until we're too tired to walk further. And then we'll turn around and head back the other direction. AKA, I don't have much of a plan today. We are just out for the pleasure of the walk. It is a pleasantly balmy 34 Fahrenheit at the moment. Very little humidity, maybe 40 or 50% humidity. And the gimbal is just a little bit. Let's see if I can just get it to lean back a bit more. I've almost got this thing balanced. Almost. We're filming as we always do on my analog gimbal. And yep, that's analog is in there, no electronics in it. And actually, this footage should turn out pretty nice. I have the balance set quite well. And in fact, there's very little wind. That little jostle there is me switching hands. Takes two hands to hold this. It's quite heavy. One guides it and the other actually holds it. And I can let go of that guide hand, but if the wind kicks up, or if the camera's not perfectly balanced, the camera will begin to sway. And I've been needing running practice with the gimbal, and I'm just noticing there isn't a lot of snow here, so I guess this wouldn't make a very peaceful cemetery walk if I run through it. And I'm tempted to do a little bit of running since I'm here and there's no ice. Just a little too tempting to not. I'm all stretched and everything from having walked quite a bit. The thing I really need to practice is doing this up and down stairs. And it's icy here, so. Plus, I don't want to get out of breath and start wheezing into the microphone. So we're pretty lucky. I don't believe we have any rain in the forecast. And this is Oakhill Cemetery. I thought it might be, but I didn't want to get it wrong. We came at it from the complete opposite end. Well, now all I need is a crosswalk. We might have to go all the way up to the light to get a crosswalk here. Now, just behind us down the hill would be Great Giant. They're a supermarket and a chicken and fries kind of to-go place. Actually found out about them during the pandemic. We ordered a meal from them through, the only time I've ever ordered through Uber or for, delivery food like that. Well, maybe we will just cross. Yeah, this is a nice lull here. We'll let this truck go by, and then we'll cross and we'll walk through the other half of this Oakhill Cemetery. That's not bad. This road is usually very busy, I'm guessing, because it is New Year's Eve. There just isn't quite as many people around. One more little jostle as I change hands. And we are now headed to the east. This camera is tilting back some more. I'm going to adjust it. Hang on just a second here. I'll let you guys look at this giant tree burl while I adjust the camera. Ooh, I'm already getting too warm from that little tiny bit. That wasn't even running. I have boots on. Well, we'll call it walking quickly. It's made me warm up. It's warm enough I didn't go with the full winter jacket either. I just threw on a hoodie. There's a backpack I'm wearing. I know will get me sweaty anyways. Let's get a little closer to some of these. Headstones, just in case you guys want to read them. As we now walk to the northeast. Another little jostle as I change hands. All right, well, let's walk over to the, and there's the wind picking up a little bit, which is going to make the camera face into it. We'll walk to the east side of the cemetery and we'll begin our walk to the north again. One last look back at the Oak Lawn Cemetery, I believe it was. We'll hop back up onto the sidewalk and continue walking north. I will have to put on screen what the name of this neighborhood is. Could be Oakhill or Oak Lawn. I'll look it up one of these days and hopefully splash it onto screen. I swear Google Maps invents some of the neighborhood names though. Ooh, bumping the camera. One of the things I'd like to make it to is the St. Francis of Assisi Sculpture Garden, which is quite far north of us. Sorry for the bump as I switch hands. I think that would be another 3 or 4 hours of walking from where we're at. We'll have to see. I might make it there, but I don't think I'm going to film that whole walk, or there won't be a camera battery or phone battery at the end of it to film there. As we continue walking north on Eastern at Delaware here. Oh, somebody must have dropped their TV. Bummer. That was a big guy. Nicer looking than mine. Except that it's on the side of the road, broken. I'm not sure where the destination is of this Eastern bus that runs this route, but I see one of the rapid buses. Yeah, running the Eastern route. Yep. So I don't know where that terminates at, but it runs south and then comes back to the central station downtown. We had enough snow to cover the grass, but most of it's melted. Quite pretty. I don't know if the color of the sky is showing up to you guys, but it's quite blue. It's real pale blue. Kind of makes it look like it wants to snow out. I don't know if that comes across on camera or not. This is a pretty flat, walkable neighborhood. You'll see a lot more people walking around here than you will in like the Heritage Hill and kind of near downtown or near the edge of the Grand River Valley. I'm going to take a quick break. I want to show you guys this cool older red brick house. Got the old scroll style eave. Well, I hadn't checked the camera in a while, and it appears that it had crashed and stopped recording, so I'm not sure how much of that we lost, but we've walked as far north enough to be into the Cherry Hill historic neighborhood. And we've crossed Division as we walk Henry Street to the north, and this is Cherry, where Henry Street will end, at least for the moment. We'll cross here and we'll continue walking to the north through the Cherry Hill historic neighborhood. Again, I apologize, I don't know how many minutes of walking we've lost. I just thought the camera had turned its brightness down, but it had actually stopped recording. We'll turn and we'll walk Packard further to the north. But I want to stop and show you this little convenience store on the main road here. And this is Cherry Hill Market. And they're probably closed since it's New Year's Eve, or excuse me, Christmas Eve. All right. Get a shot of that building. Up from Cherry Hill Market is Cherry Park, which appears to be getting improvements or have gotten improvements. We're going to turn this next cross street and begin our walk to the north again. It does look like we lost quite a lot of footage. I don't know, maybe we'll just walk to Easttown now. We lost so much of that segment from before the Cherry Hill Park here. Yeah, we're gonna walk east. So this will be the East Hills neighborhood. We're totally changing our plan up. I'm allowed to do that. It's the only advantage to YouTube. No boss. So we'll walk a little bit to the east along quite a few brick paved roads still here in Grand Rapids. Some of them in better shape than the others. Cherry Street's in pretty good shape. Division is in pretty bad shape in some spots. I often think that's intentional. Or excuse me, Division, Wealthy. Wealthy Street is brick. Division is not brick. Not sure what the restaurant across there is. That's a realtor office next to it. As we walk to the east along Cherry. Almost everybody's going to be closed today, except for possibly, that's kind of cool. Didn't know that was there. There might be a couple restaurants open. Seeing some of the brew pubs are open until 6 p.m. tonight. Grove doesn't appear to be open. The Green Well is closed as well. And the sun is just strong enough. I am no longer cold at all. And in fact, I'm thinking about taking the hoodie off because I'm a little too warm. And Brewery Vivant here, one of the longer time staples of the area, I believe also closed today. Very, very good beer. Very, very expensive. Maru here, which I believe does sushi. And they do it very well. Again, very excellent food. Very, very expensive. Le Bon Macron. I don't know that place either. That must be newer. Along with Chateau Grand Rapids. Another one I'm not familiar with. We've had a lot of restaurants spring up in the area. And I think as the tips situation sort of pivots, a lot of them will close, unfortunately. Pickwick Bar, one of my favorites in the area and a longtime staple. They don't serve food, but they have Sierra Nevada on tap, and it's quite good. And they appear to be closed as well. Yeah, my legs are getting tired, so I'm glad we turned when we did. Red Bull, formerly the home of Marika Treves here in East Hills, that went out of business. I have not tried Red Bull yet. I don't know if it's any good or not. And I think we're going to end off the video here. Well, if you enjoyed that walk through Grand Rapids, East Hill, and Cherry Park neighborhoods, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Why, hello everybody, and today is still Tuesday, Christmas Eve, and we are here in the East Hills neighborhood at Maggiamo, the Italian restaurant. Don't believe they are open on Christmas Eve, sure to the happiness of their staff. We're about to begin our walk south again after having walked here in a previous video. Don't know how I will edit those, whether they will be all edited into one. We'll split them up, but we'll be walking through one of the more pretty residential neighborhoods with some very beautiful older houses, a lot of which are going to be 120 year old. As we cross Chester, walking Carroll to the south. It's pretty appropriate for Christmas Eve to walk Carroll Street. With the bright sun today, I don't quite know how this will turn out, but fingers crossed. Another probably 100-year-old craftsman house here. May not look like much. And it was only built in the 1920s, I bet. They are still pretty well-built houses. A lot of them still have lath and plaster. Really helps them maintain how cool they are through the summer. Well, you can hear the ice falling off everyone's roof, possibly. If you're hearing large splashing sounds or crashes. All right. Pardon that little jostle as I switch hands with the camera again. As we turn and we head south again. A good handful of people out going for a nice day walk while we still have sunshine left in the year. We still look like we are kind of leaning forward. Really don't want to adjust the camera again. Could just be we're walking downhill too. Crossing up Virginia. Well, I was thinking we'd cover about 20 miles today. I think we're really only going to do more like 12, maybe less. Oh, somebody's car does not sound healthy. I think on the corner here, this would be the Meanwhile, next to Wealthy Street Market. As we come up on the intersection of Diamond and Wealthy, it's like we might have to wait a bit to cross. Yeah, all right. Well, we'll walk over to where maybe the sun is. Oh, looks like Topper's Pizza is open. Never tried them before. There isn't much else open on Christmas Eve, though. We have walked this stretch of Wealthy Street before. And the gimbal's swaying just a little bit with the wind and possibly being out of balance again. Yeah, it's still swaying. Let's see if I can't fix it. Yeah, close as it gets. Well, you got a restaurant across the street here, but I can't tell what it is with the sun in my eyes. No, can't read the sign. So we come up across the cross street of Eureka. Well, it's been a while since this gas station's been open. Look how old these pumps are. Crossing Hollister now. The biggest group I've seen out walking around today has been the mail carriers. Oh, and this gimbal is making my arms hurt now too. I'm really glad we didn't, I think we lost about 10 minutes of footage too, which was no fun. It was all in Cherry Hill too. I don't know. I don't feel like that's a reason to delete the whole walk though. for the previous one I did today, at least. This one should turn out okay. Charcuterie Sisters just across the street from us. A wine and cheese kind of place, along with Wellspring Church here. The Charcuterie Sisters is open today as we wait to cross Eastern to the south. Well, to the west, southwest. And there's just all salons and stuff along here, and none of them appear to be open. Can't see what their signs say anyways, because it's so darn bright to the south, kind of southwest. But almost none of them are open. Again, all the shops are all decorated over there, but I don't know how much of that's going to show up. In the wealthy Charles commuter lot here on our left, which would be to our north. Mamo Distillery. Jenna in white, I think is a wine. And Bridal Boutique, nope. Some spa places here. But everybody is closed for New Year's Eve. Along with a Good Truckin' Diner. And this place over here on the right-hand side with the domes is a burrito place. Although I did not see the name of it on the outside anywhere. The Winchester be on the south side, along with Mocha. Again, I don't know if anybody's open today, but somebody's about to get their drone swatted out of the air with a stick. It's ruining my audio. Rouster coffee as well. It's one of my favorites. And let's go ahead and cross Wealthy over to the south side. Because I'm getting a little warm in the sun. Oh. Okay. The barber shop and several other restaurants along here, along with the Wealthy Street Bakery. I don't think they're open either today, with it being Christmas Eve. Oh no, they are. People are walking in. Interesting. or to the table here as well, which is open today. Crossing a Union as we continue to the west. A lot of really minimal direct decorating this winter. But it also seems people are maybe aiming for stuff that's a little more realistic looking, even if it is still fake greenery. Paris and Wealthy here. More Heritage Hill homes mixed in here. And Heritage Hill, Cherry Hill, and the East Hill all have little historic and neighborhood associations. Oops, sorry, as I bumped the camera. College here. I think we'll turn and we'll walk south on College. There are a lot more of these very beautiful old homes. And I'm not freezing. I'm tired. I'm not cold though, which is good. I think I will. Hang on, I'm gonna zip my coat. Set you guys down for just a minute. I either need to take this coat off or zip it. A lot of very large homes in this area too have been turned into multi-family housing. You can see, I think that's a threeplex there, and that's a twoplex across the street. A lot of them are in the very cookie cutter style. With lots of detail trim. Oh, we also don't have anything quite like Kringlewood, which is a nickname for a Toronto neighborhood known truthfully as Inglewood. But they tend to over-decorate and go crazy with the Santa inflatables. So it's gained the nickname Kringlewood. would be something I would walk through if we had it. Another one of the brick paved streets here. And a very deco style house here, or modern. Very difficult to tell which. I've studied architecture, but I've never actually studied it well enough that I can really label some of these houses. A massive arch on that porch. Kind of reminds me of the English style, especially with the round turret. So you get a lot of mix of style of houses around here. As we continue our walk to the south, there's another massive turret on a house over there. Now the super crazy ones even have curved windows inset into the curved turret, which from what I hear, if you manage to crack or chip one, you're gonna just spend a fortune replacing it. This one's kind of a Craftsman Tudor mix. Along with a very traditional square western kind of building. I could probably tell you more about how these houses are framed than the style they were built in. You get a lot of the odd width stud walls and stuff in an old house like this, where they used like 2x6s or wider, and then just put them further apart than you would with 2x4 framing, 2x6 or 4x6. Of course, an older house like that also has the benefit of the plaster walls. The plaster walls tend to be so strong, they'll hold a house together even as the structure of the wall decays, which is why you'll often see the old mansions with plasters still, even neglected and decaying, still be structurally kind of there. Not safe, mind you, but more intact than they would be with... Well, I don't want to go up this hill. Let's turn and go this way. More intact than they would be with drywall walls. More very, very pretty, but simple Christmas decorations here as we now walk to the west. And there's a for sale sign. You guys have fun putting in your guesses what this is selling for. But my guess would be, even if it doesn't have a garage, which it appears to not, I'm betting they are still asking $380,000 or so. I have to look that up to find out. If I have time, I'll pop it into the comments. And a very pretty park here. I can't point you towards the sun, or you will not be able to see much of anything.
That's too close of a neighbor. I don't want to do that. But I also like it better.
So we'll turn here at Pleasant Park and continue back to the south again. Well, yeah, and we are leaving the Heritage Hill district here. I think we will head further to the west first, though. And we've definitely missed the Meyer May house, which is fine. I've caught that on the channel before. Look at the keyhole window in the front of this house. Very pretty. Now, I think I don't know if I've seen this one when they were doing remodeling. I feel like it wasn't quite so dark. It may have looked more like the one across the street there. And they may have just kind of darkened it up when they remodeled. And you can tell when the house flippers get to them, they do not end up these. Well, I actually don't mind these wacky color combos on these old houses. The purple, and what would that be? Not teal, maybe teal. And gray does not look bad at all, in my opinion. You know what? Let's go up the side street. Yeah, we're gonna turn and head south up this side street and go up the hill anyways. Some of these houses look cool. Fortunately, the ones to the west you're not gonna be able to see. And from what I've heard, the Lions are actually doing good though, so. And now it's time to put out your Lions flag. Another big Tudor or mock Tudor style here. With the trees out front all decorated. And here's another one in that kind of green and purple. You don't see that there very often, but I don't really mind the colors. I'll make sure we're still recording. Good. It's cold. Having your brake cable pop out is not fun when it's this cold. Yeah, so we're going to end up coming right back down the hill again. This is why I didn't want to walk up the steep part of it over to the left there. Wow, steep. Guess it's not much higher than where I am right now. This looks like a duplex that's been turned back into a single family. And either a community garden here or somebody has more than their fair share of the landscaping on the block. Yeah, that doesn't look like a community garden. That looks like somebody owns a big hunk of the block. I guess it'd be the massive Craftsman style here. Of course, even the nice older houses are a lot of work, so you're always going to see something on them. Rotting fascias is a popular one, or rot in the soffit box. I think that's one of the old schools up on top of the hill here. I think I got a good view of that or not. Yeah, a huge number of houses in the area still have their original single pane windows. Some of them don't even have storm windows. All right, we're gonna cross here as soon as traffic allows me. And 3, 2, 1. Nope. Why do I feel like we're walking towards the entrance of a school? Well, everybody's closed right now, so this is the time to walk through a school. Anyways. Yeah, and it looks like we can just walk right through here to the south. And the camera is twisting a little bit in the wind. And I'm getting very, very tired, so I apologize if the ride is bumpy. I really need to limit myself to about 30 minutes until I can get used to the weight of the camera. We started out with it as light as I could. And unfortunately, that made it not very stable. So we've added maybe a pound, 2.5, 3 pounds of weight over the last couple times we filmed. And that's helped significantly smooth out the picture. Well, I know this is one of the GR public school buildings, but I do not know the name of this one. Yeah, so that's one I haven't walked by. Yeah. That's a GR public built school building, but boy, and this road, I'm betting used to be the alley behind all these houses before they put the school in here, or expanded the schools. A lot of our school buildings here, they move around when a building wears out, it'll sit vacant for a while until they can demolish it while they build a new school elsewhere. Oh, and I'm missing another kind of pretty looking graveyard up there. I'm not sure what one that is. I don't feel like going up the hill. All right, stop up there and walk through it. The last video we walked through one of the hill lawn cemeteries, I believe, at the beginning of that walk. Depending on how I edit this, it could just be at the beginning of this walk. Although I don't think I'll make an episode that long. 40 some minutes is about the max I like to subject you guys to. We'll turn now and continue walking south and west. However that best works out. Okay, and our cross street here is Lafayette. That'll be the north-south road. And more specifically, Lafayette Southeast and Delaware Southeast. I'm gonna cross here real quick so this guy doesn't have to wait for me. One of these big, pretty old farmhouses. And I would bet that that is at least 100 years old as well. Well, by the looks of it, I'd say more like 120. As I said, there's a lot of very old houses in these neighborhoods. They don't get the attention like the East Hills, Cherry Hills neighborhoods do. We come upon that Cass Street. Ooh, a thick layer of dead leaves here. Quite slippy. Sorry, it's the camera wobbles again. If I get monetized, I will just pick up a DJI Pocket. Or possibly one of those phone gimbals. Depending on what the prices look like. I'm betting after Christmas they'll be better. For now, we're just going to keep using oh, you know what? I think we've walked too far west. Yep. Oops, oh well. We better turn and start heading south then. I believe this is Jefferson. And I'm going to stop at Great Giant if they're still open on the way home, which is now a couple blocks to our west. And Great Giant is our little supermarket here. One of many. We have a handful of convenience stores, actually a huge handful. Don't really have much in the way of groceries, and then we also have a couple supermercados. Have a lot more particular groceries for people looking for something that reminds them of home. And we also have Myers in the area, although this time of year they are a nightmare. And just packed full of people. Ted Raspberry Field here on our right hand side, although I don't know if you guys can see it with the sun. Sorry for that bump there as I kicked the camera, switching hands. Seeing these houses are just as big and pretty. They have all this detailed trim on them. They just don't get the attention. All right. Well, I think we'll end the video here so I can pack the camera away into the backpack. I hope you guys enjoyed that walk through Grand Rapids, Michigan's Cherry Hill, East Hills neighborhood. If you did, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.